Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit and the coffee ain't.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Strength Classroom. I told you I was going to be documenting myself getting back in shape, whether that's strength, conditioning, just feel like I should be peaking and looking good and feeling good, both physically and mentally. So I'm probably going to be splitting these workouts into upper body shit I did during the week and lower body shit. That is going to be my two videos. My two videos. Let's just put it that way without jumbling a word salad. So here's my heavy upper body day. I did a little bit of a reverse. I did a rep out set. There's 225 times 11 on the incline pin press. And then I said, let me just do a heavy-ish single just to get some of the upper threshold muscle fibers in there. And then my heavy pulls, I've been doing chin-ups twice a week, both weighted. One day has back down sets with body weight, and one day is just working up to a peak set. As I mentioned in a previous video, I did gain some weight, so I'm around the high teens of the high 210s and low 220s, like 220 is the high. So adding 60 pounds on pull-ups and chin-ups when it's not a lift that I'm very good with in general or very strong at, adding 60 pounds, that would be like me adding 45 pounds a couple of months ago. So those are actually harder than normal. Here we have one arm Z presses. It's one of the best upper body movements you can do. Unilateral upper body movements, I would say you can do. Here's 70. I worked up to just set of 10. I think I did 3 total altogether. It's a really good exercise. It hammers the oblique and core at the same time, and it's good for the shoulders, the upper back, and all that other stuff. And it's just good for unilateral strength. The 2-arm version on this is difficult just because it's kind of hard to clean them up and then sit into that position, but that's also a great choice. Then we have some kettlebell rows, 123, 124 pounds, somewhere around there. Let's just call 125 for shits and giggles. Do the rows. What's good about this is grip work at the same time. I'm not using straps. Once kettlebells get heavier, you'll notice once you get around 80s, once you get to the 80s, you'll notice the handle gets a lot thicker. So do this for like 3 sets of 8 to 15 reps. I got 15 on every set. Unfortunately, I can't go heavier unless I add bands or chains. That's the only way I can make kettlebells heavier at this moment. Because my next gap would be my 180 pound kettlebell, and no way am I rowing that. There's a way, but I'd have to use straps and all that shit. So then I'm starting to do some heavier bicep work. Here is hammer curls, 65 pounders. I like leaning forward and getting a tiny bit of momentum. It just makes me realize how much I've been sandbagging curls in general. Hammer curls are probably going to be the variation that I can go the heaviest on. I've noticed this really helps with grappling a lot, and I see a lot of wrestlers do a lot of direct arm work. Speaking of, we have some kettlebell extensions. I should make a tutorial on how to actually do this exercise, because I'm holding the kettlebell in a very, very specific way, which allows me to perform it in a specific way. So I'm not just using barbells at that point. I might as well use barbells if I wasn't doing them in this specific fashion. Then I finish off my upper body workout with some neck and some core. We have 70-pound neck extensions. Can't remember how many reps I did here, but I've been trying to get at least minimum 100 reps of neck 4 to 5 times a week, going for a more frequency style approach as opposed to just really hammering it out. Here we have some rotational landmine twists. I'm doing them in a very specific way. I don't know if I like holding the thin end of the barbell or the thick end, but whatever. It's all about the rotation. That's all it is. Here is, I guess, 45 plus 25, 70 pounds. I like doing a little bit faster, but rotation work is heavily underrated in my honest opinion. Now here's my other day of the week. It's a lighter day, it's a speed day. I'm using a bamboo bar, Rhinoflex bar to be specific. 6 sets of 3 for speed. We have 155 on the bar plus double minis. I'm not really sure what that is at the top, but I just use weights that move fast. And then I did 2 sets of rep work with this, slight pause on the chest, 2 sets of 10 with about 185, 190 pounds. It's good. I like the Rhino bar. It hits smaller muscles a little bit more, helps you to, I don't want to say stabilize, but it feels different because the bar isn't as heavy. It's 10 pounds as opposed to 45 pounds. Now here's some weighted chin-ups as well, where work up to a medium-ish set of 2 and then back down with 4 sets of 7 with fairly low rest in between. Pull-ups are just a great exercise. So many people should do them, no matter what field, whether it's hypertrophy, whether you're a power lifter, whether you're a bodybuilder, whether you're an athlete of any kind, everyone should be doing pull-ups. Now, we have alternating kettlebell presses. This is a new exercise that I've become a fan of, and I'm not doing it on a bench. I'm doing it on a sandbag, as you can see. And this helps with like tiny bit helping with the T-spine and anti-rotation, and it just helps with the shoulder girdle a lot more. It's a much more natural style of pressing, and I like doing it in a seesaw fashion as opposed to both for the benefits that I just said before. And I like doing them with kettlebells because it works your grip, burns the forearms up, still hits the chest, still hits the pecs, still hits the shoulders. You're gonna have to count the reps on that one. I think I did 15 per arm, and here you're once again gonna have to count the reps on. So what I've been doing is, if I can hit the upper end of the rep range that I want, I add weight. Simple as that. It allows you to progress on weight quicker. It allows your training to be a little bit more fun because you're always doing a set that will be challenging for you, and it's just good training economy. And now let's move on to the arm portion. We have some band push downs over here. I think I did sets of 50 just to pump some pump some blood into the muscle. And then we have upcoming right here, we have hammer curls, 75s for, I believe it was sets of 8. This is pretty much the heaviest I've ever gone. Some people might say this is too much sway. I really disagree. I think this is pretty solid form. I'm contracting the bicep. Sure, I probably can't do a negative on it, but I definitely am. There's people that sway a lot more than this. Let's just put it that way. And then finished off with some core work, Zercher marches, 225 pounds, making sure my thigh hits my elbows. It's good for like anti-rotation, anti-flexion, just good for core stability in general. That's all the upper body shit for this week. Please keep up with this series. This is episode 2. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, class is dismissed.